sailbag now, get the sails ready, because we've actually got a nice little sou'easter that's blowing. We're going to go up, navigate through the seaway, out into the ocean, and then we've got 24 hours of sailing ahead of us to get up to Harvey Bay, and hopefully we're going to see a lot of whales along the way.
Stradbroke Island, where there's plenty of whale activity happening all around us. The sun's getting ready to set. Another beautiful day in paradise. He's a pretty boy.
You getting that, Captain? Sun's setting on what's been an amazing day. We've had whales all around us from start to finish today, and just leaving the northern tip of North Stradbroke Island now. We're preparing for our night watch, and each of us will do 4 hours on through the night. And the whales are still out there, but at night we can't see them, so it's up to them to get out of our way. It's been an amazing day, and can't wait to see what tomorrow brings.
So got a little bit of a breeze coming in, nor'easter, which has kicked in a bit stronger for tonight. So we've increased our speed. We're doing about 8 knots. So we're timed at getting at Fraser Island about 5 o'clock in the morning. So we should be virtually off Fraser Island for sunrise.
Explosions like a heartbeat. Yeah, my mind's keen. Rushes of emotion. Now let's do it again.
So what are we having for tea, Shirls?
Pad Thai.
Pad Thai in the Pacific.
Coral Sea.
Check. Shirley knows where we are. Paul's gone to bed, trying to get a few hours sleep before his shift starts. Shirley's cooking tea, and just keeping an eye out, making sure he's keep clear of the lights on the end of the reef, and there's a few ships around, just other sailing boats. Just make sure we don't go too close to them. It's staring into tiny little lights all night. You start to see lights after a while.
Life is all on schedule, but dead's forever. I send my condolences to the side of the drive.
Good morning. Shirley's just finished shift. She's off to bed. I've just started. We're off Rainbow Beach, and very little wind, very little swell. Looks like a beautiful day. We're only about a couple of hours from going into Fraser Island, and I think we've decided we're going to go through the Great Sandy Strait instead of going up on the ocean side. So looking forward to it.
So much more.
This is how I like to sail on beautiful days. I'm sitting here having my breakfast. I can steer the boat if I need to with my remote control on the beanbag, and the other remote control if I want to get a shot of from up the mast of the whales running around. I just push this button. Push button sailing and push button camera work. The way to go. Talk to you later. Got a wind change.
So we've arrived at Fraser Island, and we're about to pass into the Great Sandy Strait, which is between Inskip Point and the bottom of Fraser Island, and they call this spot the Mad Mile because the Great Sandy Strait drains out into the ocean, and at the entrance there's sandbanks either side, only a couple of meters wide, and so that's breaking, and we've got to go through this narrow channel through this Mad Mile. There's a white light to guide us in at first from the ocean, and then we have to find some crossover leads to Inskip Point, and when we get in the channel we just go straight up the middle and look for the markers. So we'll have a little bit on in the next few minutes.
Doing a good job coming on.
Thanks Captain. We've come in on the lead from the ocean, and we've spotted the leads on Inskip Point now. We've got shallow sandbanks either side of the boat, and it has been breaking a couple of times, so we're obeying those leads, and should get us in safely.
We're lucky that it's not big swell, ain't it?
Yeah, you could see in a really big swell how this would just be horrendous, and you wouldn't even attempt to get in here if the seas were up.
Don't want to scare you, but we're finally left winter, and it's warm. Shirts are off. Sorry to scare you, but it's magnificent. Righto, Paul, suck the stomach in.
Well, we're in the Great Sandy Strait, and it's a bloody paradise. It's so beautiful in here. this could be a destination in its own right. It's just wide. There's a lot of boats in here, but they're all spaced out, and we're going to go to a little anchorage for lunch today called Gary's Anchorage, which is in behind a little island, and there's potential there for some bushwalks to a lake and stuff. So we're going to have a swim, check that out. It's supposed to be pretty nice.
This is how warm it is. It's 10:30 in the morning.
It's tropical.
It's 10:30 in the morning.
And without hydration, a man in these climates could perish.
Yes, well, to survival.
First thing in the morning. That's a wrap.
One of the things you don't want to do is anchor in the middle of the channel, you want to make sure that the channel's still open for boats to move in and out. And you can see this anchorage has got lots of boats, so we're going to pick a nice spot where it's sheltered, but also not going to get too close to the other boats. Good to see you up, Tick. Oh, morning, Shirls.
Anyone would think I'm on a cruise ship. I said, don't get me out.
No boobs, just coffee. Well, Gary's Cove is actually named after Gary Owen, and he was an Aboriginal Butchella man, and he lived there with his extended family in the early 1900s. Gary was also quite well known because he was a tracker that actually helped track down Ned Kelly in Victoria. As you can see, it's a very popular spot for when you first come in from the southern end of the Great Sandy Strait. It's beautifully protected, heaps of room for lots of boats, and a few little bushwalks and some interesting signs. Paul didn't realise that there's been crocodile sightings this far south. I hadn't realised that either. Any crocodile?
Haven't seen any yet, but it's the ones you don't see that you've got to worry about.
So as the sun sets on this beautiful location, I'm going to make my grandson Jim very happy because his favourite mammal, a dugong, has decided to come visit us. We're on the move again. We definitely decided to spend 4 or 5 days in the Great Sandy Straits. We're just going up a little bit further where we found this beautiful long creek. We're just going to anchor off it and go for a paddle.
How beautiful is this little white sandy beach in the Great Sandy Strait? Bloody beautiful. Let's check it out. Now, I'm pretty sure this is a good bush tucker. It's like a little salad that you can chuck on your salad. Tastes salty but like fruit at the same time. So I'm not 100% sure. So what we're going to do is when we get back to the boat, we're going to look it up, make sure it's edible, and if it is, put it on lunch. So this is the bounty that we brought back from the beach. It's turns out it's pretty common. It's called pigface. Everyone probably knew this. I was probably the last in the world to find out. But it's a tangy coastal fruit. People have been eating it for thousands of years, and if you break it and rub it on cuts, it's even got some medicinal qualities like aloe vera, which is great because I've got a little cut that I need to attend to. So we're going to try it out and put it on our salad.
So we're going to try Paul's beautiful bounty. It supposedly tastes somewhere between kiwi fruit and strawberry. So I've actually got a salad here with pumpkin, feta, some nuts and some lettuce, and we'll just sprinkle some of our bush tucker on, right, and then just a little bit of balsamic vinegar. We're on our way to check out a little creek. We've got 2 shipwrecks. So the old Palmer was a steamship that was built in Scotland in the late 1800s. It was actually brought out here and used as a ferry between Cairns and Townsville, and eventually bought to Fraser Island to carry sand and used as to cart sand back over to the mainland. It's had a ceremoniously or unceremoniously death. It was left here to die in the mangroves. But it's actually very interesting to have a paddle around. Well worth a visit. Yeah. The wharf is probably the remnants of the old sand mining days. Remnants of what Fraser Island was before it was listed on the World Heritage List. So the Ceratotus, they're only literally a couple of hundred metres apart. Again, it's an old steam vessel, again built in Scotland in the early 1800s. It was a sand dredge in Scotland, or a dredge, and then it was bought out here, and they stopped using it as a dredge and again used it for carrying sand, the same as the other steam vessel that's here. So obviously at the end of the sand mining, they decided to just leave them and beach them. You can still see the remnants of the old boiler. So at least there would have been no oils or anything left in it. But very interesting and worth pulling up and having a look. So as interesting as it is, we better get going. The light's fading and we want to drop anchor near Kingfisher Resort. Tomorrow we're going to spend the day on Fraser Island.
So Shirls, when you said I could come on this trip, I said, what should I bring? You said, just bring a bottle of wine. So here it is. All right, you got a bottle opener.
This is the scariest bit, because if I mess up pulling the cork out, my name will be mud. So here we go.
Hey!
That's why I'm the captain.
Decant it, wow. All right.
You want one, Paul?
There you go. How is it, Shirls?
Smells.
It's the taste test.
I won't spit that one out.
Today is the very first time that we, or Shirley, has used the slow cooker off the batteries. So all the money and the expense I went to with extra batteries and extra solar panels, so Shirley could use the 240 power points with an inverter, has come to fruition.
We're happy.
We're happy. So bright and early tomorrow, we're on for a fun day on Fraser Island. We'll see you then. See you next time.